Please pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have an agenda in front of us. Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor of the agenda as printed, or any adjustments? All in favor of the agenda as printed, say aye.
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 Chair votes aye. Agenda has been approved. Public comment. Any public comment? Seeing none? Curtis, none?
No?
Move to approve the minutes from January 2nd.
Second.
Any additions or corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, all in favor of the minutes from January 2nd, say aye.
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 And chair votes aye. Minutes have been approved. We have no personnel additions or corrections, but we do have oath of office. You want to just do that right now? So,
Works for me if it works for you, unless you want to stay on schedule.
yep, we can do that right
Okay.
now.
Come up there, Katie. I'll give this to you. That's the recitation line, unless you want to use.
Okay.
Oh,
There's
okay.
two copies.
Yep, it's right on that.
All righty. Catherine Zawinski. I'm going to have to repeat this,
Okay.
and then you go ahead and do it. So, I state your name. Do solemnly swear
I, Catherine Surwinski, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and I will faithfully and impartially,
and I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all duties of the Office of Treasurer in Bremer County.
can you repeat that? Sure.
To discharge all
Okay.
duties
To discharge all duties
of the Office of Treasurer
of the Office of Treasurer
in Bremer
in
County,
Bremer County,
hereafter required by law.
hereafter required by law.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I'll sign this, and you'll sign this. Good. And tell us a little bit about yourself and the public. Go ahead.
I'm good.
No, seriously.
When did you start in the office? What have you done before?
2.5, I've been there for 2.5 years. Yeah.
What'd you do before?
I did before. I worked at St. Paul's.
Katie's been a great addition in the last 2.5 years in our office. Learned a great deal of skill sets to complement the office through our other turnover that we've had. Yeah, just excelling and a great opportunity for filling the last of the 3 deputy positions that I have.
Okay.
So one of those will be for Shelley, and the other one we'll keep for our office there. Your file. You know that one.
Is this your one?
Yeah, actually, Shelley got this.
Congratulations.
That's when people are really good, come back to us. Good.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Congrats.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you
you.
very much.
I'll be back for 10:05.
I'd move to approve the vacation carryover request for Jennifer Picken for CBS.
Second.
All in favor of the vacation carryover, say aye.
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 All opposed, chair votes aye. All opposed, say nay. No nays. And then we come to the engineering agreement for the landfill. Is Tim gonna come, or just?
I gave you the prior contract to look at.
Okay.
No, Tim wasn't planning on.
That's pretty straightforward. It's just pretty much just changing the chair name. And when I get in next week, I will send them an email, or if Cassandra, you want to do
Yep,
that,
I can do that.
to make certain that they send him all communications. I would move to authorize the chair to sign the compliance agreement with HFW.
I'll second.
We have a first and second. Any other discussion? Like Dewey says, this is just a biannual or annual agreement?
It's every 2 years, and if you notice on this agreement here, our amount of testing and inspections has gone down
Yeah.
because of the amendment we got with the DNR.
So yeah, we won't have to test as often for water or gas and et cetera, so that's nice. Okay. All in favor of the chair signing the permanent compliance service agreement, say aye.
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 And the chair votes aye. Any nays? No nays. We're at the discuss cyber liability policy renewal. Tony sent this information to us.
Correct, and I talked with Nate, and Nate recommends staying with Cowbell. That's where I'm at as well. I don't think ICAP's liability coverage right now is as robust as we would need it to be if there's an incident across the state that hits all, not that it would hit all counties, but that is the one downside there.
Okay.
Is that there is only a pool of money, and
It's safer to stay with cowbell, so it's hard to, it's a little bit hard to know how much, if the whole state got hit, so, but I can understand. Any concerns from going with cowbell, Corey, or Dewey?
I have none.
Just the higher cost. I'd move to approve the cyber liability policy to renew with Cowbell.
Second.
Great. All in favor of staying with cowbell for the next year, say aye.
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 Ayes have it, so we'll stay with cowbell. Now it comes to the FY26 budget amendments. Cassandra, you want to just kind of review us?
we needed amendments primarily because of hailstorm that damaged the truck, and the truck needed full replacement, and so we needed spending authority, and that obviously takes a budget down relatively fast when you buy a truck out of it. So that was in our roadside department. That was reimbursed by insurance. So we do have the reimbursement in there. We also have Shelley's department of the courthouse is paying for the utilities out of the annex and then being reimbursed for those utilities, so an in and out there. Let's see. Also with roadside vegetation, we did have 2 managers at the same time while one was transitioning into retirement and one had come on. So there is a little bit of additional cost there, but it's the cost that you pay to train someone coming on. Customer Convenience Center, we have a grant for the swap building, and we also have an increase in revenue due to demolition from, again, the hailstorm. So then we also, on the flip side, we have expenses associated with that grant. So that is in and out, and then increased tipping fees to Blackhawk County for when those loads are hauled down there. And we are also in an agreement for trucking services right now. So that is increased cost. So those were some of the amendments that the Customer Convenience Center is requesting. And then on the MIS IT side, we had a data center hardware support renewal that we thought was up in July, but the timing of when it actually started, according to the company, was a few months prior to that. So it's going to renew yet in this fiscal year. Otherwise, this would have been a capital project for next year. Don't ask me to explain what all that means for the data center hardware support, but we need it.
Yeah, it looks like to be their camera pro support and also some VM communication software, so 3-year support and a 1-year support, so. Discussion on this item. The only thing I saw is with the landfill, it looked like there's $45,000 in tipping and we're making maybe $30,000 in additional revenue that I wonder if our tipping fees are correct. So I know we can't do anything now, but I think if we can, ask Tim to review that and just make sure that our tipping fees are covering the cost.
Yeah, I think that that would be good for his FY27 budget to kind of analyze what he's bringing in versus what it's costing to go out, and if we need to do an increase.
Well, we don't have to wait till July to do an
No,
increase.
no,
I mean, we could
no.
adjust the fee rate,
Yes.
but it'd be a good time to review during budget.
And this is just a review.
Do you have a proposed date
It
then?
is set the date as well.
Okay.
Public hearing, if I get it in the paper, if I send it to the papers, I can get it in for next week, so the 27th at 11:45. Because we're in the middle of budgets as well, so that's my open slot.
Move to set date for a public hearing for an FY26 budget amendment to January 27th at, did you say 10:45? 11:45.
I will second.
Any other discussion? We'll set the budget amendment public hearing for January 27th. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Chair votes aye. Okay, we'll come to the resolution for adopting the compliance for Title 4, Title 6. Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve, do you have a resolution number, Shelley?
26-10.
Move to approve 26-10 related to Title 6 provisions.
Second.
Discussion, Shelley, we'll kick it off. You want to just tell us a little bit about this?
So the Title VI allows us to receive federal funding. It's to make sure that everybody, minorities and everybody have equal opportunity to any projects that are done in Bremer County, and it's a place for them to file complaints or come for information. There's several things we need to do throughout the year, just make sure that the information is out there for everyone equally, all the opportunity is equally, and if anybody feels that it's not, they come to us. So we have that long list of assurances that we adopted in 2022, and those carry forward. The agreement we change each year, just who's the chair of the board. The organizational chart, we have to update the board chair in there. So that's why we have to do something at the beginning of the year, is just update the board chair. Otherwise it carries forward from year to year, and it makes us able to receive federal funding.
Especially for road projects and et cetera. So,
Yep, so DOT kind of has a program that helps guide us, but it's used mostly for roads, but it's available then for everything else as well.
great. Any questions? We'll move resolution 2610 pertaining to the Bremer County's compliance to Title 6. All in favor say aye.
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 Chair votes aye, no nays. Come to commission, and we have 4 openings. First one is for owner-operator for eminent domain for agriculture. Dewey, did you have someone?
I did have, I found Clint Monk, and Clint is honored and happy to serve. I gave the contact information to Shelley. Shelley, I don't believe we have these folks ever fill out, and I hope we don't start making them fill out the application process. We've never done that for these positions in my recollection. So anyway, if you need additional information, you could reach out directly to him or get back to me, but he would be honored to serve, and I would nominate him for that position.
Great.
I'll second.
We have a first and a second. So, all in favor of Clint Monk for that position, owner, operator, agricultural property, say aye.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Owner of city property,
I reached out to Steve Worthman. Steve was not interested in the position. He declined. So I don't know. Did you have anybody else that you would talk to?
I did, but I didn't talk to him because I've been under the weather and I didn't want to be spreading this joy with anyone. I handled my call with Clint over the phone and Brian Davison over the phone, but I can continue to work on that for next week if you want to hold off on that one.
I had one other idea. Mark Boner, applied for a position. I just wonder if he might be a good candidate too for that. So,
He lives in Tripola. Does he own his property in Tripola?
pretty sure he owns his house, yes. There.
You want to reach out to him? That'd be a great idea, I think.
Okay, I will do that for next meeting. For Realtor, Brian Hoppel, who works at Remax, is willing to serve on this commission, so he does a lot of sales here in Bremer County and a lot of knowledge in Bremer County. So, Brian Hoppel from Remax.
I'd move to appoint Brian Hoppel for Board of Realtors for eminent domain.
Second.
All in favor of Brian Hoppel being our Realtor appointment, say aye.
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 And chair votes aye. Last one is Planning and Zoning Commission. We did receive an application. So Brian Davidson from Janesville.
Brian pointed out his credentials, I think, quite well in his application, but I would just say, in addition to that, Brian worked for me for a number of years, and he was a very reliable person, very conscientious, cares deeply about Bremer County, has bought and operated a small business east of Janesville where he's redone an acreage out there. So I think Brian would make an excellent appointment, and even a better thing, I think he's only about 2 miles up the road, maybe only a mile up the road from Jerry Dove, so representing the same area. So I would nominate Brian Davison for Planning and Zoning Commission.
Second that.
We have a first and second. Any other discussion? Brian sounds like a great candidate. He has some background on this, so he was on the comp board, land use, so he knows how this works, so he'd be a very good candidate myself too. So all in favor of Brian Davidson, say aye.
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 And the chair votes aye. We've appointed him to Planning and Zoning, and I'll reach out to him. So next week, let's continue to have this on the agenda for owner of the city property. One other thing that I found out is our tourism from Eastern Iowa Tourism Board is no longer in operation, so we can drop those two positions. Andy was on it and Tiffany was on it. They no longer need to be on it.
So it's been totally dissolved?
Yeah, it was dissolved a couple years ago. So it's more at the state level now. The state, in the tourism, under economic development, they have a tourism, and then within that subsection, to my knowledge, they have 2 individuals doing regional tourism, supporting regional tourism.
And did they notify anybody to who that would be for us? Or?
That was just on my research last night. I have not found out, who they would be down in Des Moines, but I talked to Tiffany and both Andy. They both understand this has been dissolved.
Interesting.
So we'll just leave that one for next week. Okay. We're at boards and committee updates.
I had nothing.
I had no meetings.
Okay.
We missed that cell phone reimbursement.
Oh, yes, I'm
authorization.
sorry.
Okay, I'd move to approve the reimbursement authorization for Sheena.
Second.
Okay. And is this typical? We have a cell phone for CVS person, just, they're gonna use their personal one, is that?
So the director and the program supervisor, we reimburse cell phone for, and with positions changing, she became program supervisor.
Okay. Okay. Great. We'll approve FY '26 cell phone reimbursement authorization for Sheena Valets of CVS. All in favor, say aye.
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 And chair votes aye. So that's been approved. So we'll take a little break here, and we'll start at 9:30.
Do you want me to call you back, or you just want to mute out? And
Either way, if it's convenient enough, you can call me back. That would probably be best.
okay, I'll just call you. Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm gonna run upstairs and get that resolution for you.
Okay. Okay.
You coming Thursday night?
Yes.
Good.
Yep. That's my plan right now. Did you get my phone message the other day?
Yes. I think, yeah, sooner the
I haven't
better.
got back to him yet.
Yeah, I think we can have him come up.
Okay, I'll see if he's still available then.
Be a good opportunity to visit with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your, is it Pristine that you're redoing? What street are you redoing? We're pulling blacktop from
State,
State Street.
from Pristine down to the bridge.
When is bid letting gonna be on that?
March, oh, it's in March.
Okay.
It
I
is.
knew it'd be coming up, I just didn't.
It's
know
coming
when.
up pretty quick, yeah. Yeah. And they talked already to the contractor that the hauling has to go up to. The headache is we don't know how fine they'll mill. So hopefully it'll be milled fine enough.
I thought about that. Have you ever seen that where it was too coarse to lay down?
Yeah, sometimes you get some pretty big chunks in there, but hopefully if we've got some equipment around, we can kind of break it up and pack it in.
I think with it being fresh, it would pack.
Right.
They're hoping to start maybe June or July, so I'm not sure.
That was my next question, was if
Yeah.
it was next fiscal year.
I think it's June or July is what ACOM thinks.
They
you
can
know,
start in
county.
June with first payment in July.
Yeah. So anyway. It just depends on how it all shakes out with the bid lighting and everything else. Hopefully that'll be enough to cover the midway.
Yeah, sounded like it would based on what
Should
they
be.
were estimating, yeah.
Yeah. At least up to past the Highland houses and
Right,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Any progress on your water line?
Still working with Schumacher's. Yep.
Building's going up.
The building's going up. They were working in the fog this morning. So, yeah.
Flashing stoplights are nice on mornings like this morning.
Yes, they are.
We got a piece of property if the county wants to buy, so, for sale. In Denver.
In city limits or on the?
Yeah, yeah. Not quite 2 acres. Right across from Fairway, at the sign in the south side of Denver.
Okay.
HLW contract.
Is this all?
Yeah.
I'll take it, and when I get it signed, I'll get it to you, because I have to have Doug and Glenn sign it.
Your signature yet? Thank you.
Okay, we'll get, see you on the phone, or?
I'll get it back. It was pretty quick, as far as start with Landon.
You need to stop ordering fog.
You hear me okay?
Last 2 days been bad.
Oh, he wouldn't answer.
Ironic. I moved you around just to have more agenda items come on.
Yeah.
I just left you right where you were.
He's trying to call in over there. Yeah, he's.
Hello, we are gonna try and call you right back. I don't think it was ringing out into the, or letting them answer out. in the
No,
door,
it
so
wasn't.
We'll call you.
Lighting up out here.
Okay, bye. Okay, try again.
Now it's going through. Sorry, I didn't switch over to speaker before I turned up the handset. Can you hear me? It's not going to. There, now can you hear?
Yeah, I can't bring you up on speakerphone for some reason. That's all right, I can just hold it up.
I got you
Yeah,
on
we can go.
speaker. I couldn't, the first time it didn't switch to speaker before I hung up the handset.
That's fine.
Alrighty, Landon, we have Supervisor Hildebrandt on the phone. He's not feeling very good. He said he didn't want to spread any diseases to us, so,
Well, I appreciate that.
yeah. So what's your weekly update?
Oh, I don't have a whole lot. We did get an initial estimate on that truck that went in, somewhere in the range of 40,000. Andy was reviewing that for some items that he thought maybe we wanted to also look at while we were in on that he had noticed, and some things they had in the estimate that he wasn't so sure about. So somewhere in that range is what we're thinking. We do have money left in the budget for that, so that won't require an amendment other than maybe to move some money around. We have it under new equipment if we want to move it under repair. So won't require an amendment, but we do have that first estimate in on that. And then the only other thing I had of note is I did put together the draft of our 5-year plan. One of the things we'd kind of talked about was trying to nail down some of our, specifically our bridge estimates to be a little closer. I didn't consider this when we were talking about that, but because 7 of those are in federal grants, we just entered the amount that we are given on the grant, so we don't actually do a real detailed estimate on those. So the good news with that is if we continue to be high, specifically on the raise grant, if there is extra money there, the FHWA has said if we get to the end of the grant and we have extra money because our estimates that were put in are high, we can find different bridges to use that on. So that would be a good option there if
So you'll
they
leave like a
continue to run.
bridge that has all, you can get done relatively fast?
Yep.
Okay.
And then the only other thing I noted with that is our work for this coming summer is a little bit up in the air. So we've got the 2 bridges we were planning to do are waiting on that CHBP grant approval and agreement. And so if we don't have that grant in time to get those done this summer, it'll be a relatively slow summer. So something to think about, which I've done a little looking at this too, if we wanted to move a project in with lost dollars or something like that where we can move quickly on it, a local project, we could potentially have a fairly slow construction season this year. We've got the seal coat projects and things that won't show on that 5-year plan just because the DOT has asked us to keep those off. But outside of that, we had an off year for paving and we're planning those couple bridges. And if those don't get turned around, we might have a pretty open summer if we want to find a project. So I'll come up, when we do our work session for that, I'll try and find some ideas of possible inserts in case we want to add something. Just to get a little
Yeah, you
more
can
work
put
done.
it in there as a next priority.
Right.
So,
Yep. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot this morning.
good. And appreciate no gravel talk, that's nice.
Yeah.
85% of the roads in Bremer County are gravel, so 80% of those are in my district, so whatever the reason, the phone cut out really bad during Landon's presentation. I was only able to catch.
You didn't miss a whole lot, Dewey.
I heard some mean comment about he was happy I wasn't there or something. He didn't want to give the stuff, so kind of tried to ignore him anyway.
Yeah.
Just kidding, Landon.
Great.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Linda.
very much.
Take a break till 9:45.
Yes. We'll take a break till 9:45 for planning and zoning, building and zoning.
I'll call you back, Dewey.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Did you sign a cell phone reimbursement and vacation carryover?
Did I sign it?
We put them in the personal file
Okay.
and the payroll file.
Yep.
And stuff.
You have, who owns this one?
That's Karen Davis, and I have one for the file that
Okay, can we add email? Add their email?
on their email.
Yeah.
Oh, do you think, does that get used a lot for appointments?
Well, at the end, I mean, we need to get their email for meeting invites and stuff like that, so.
Sure, we should add that. Okay. Are you making notes? You know, last year we talked about adding something on there that, making sure they were an eligible voter. That was a criteria we for sure wanted to go down that path. Doesn't know that happened last year.
There's probably certain, yeah, I'd have to see which ones.
Something to think about.
So, your meetings run smoother than these?
Beg your pardon?
Your meetings run smoother than these?
This is pretty smooth. Yeah.
She was nervous, she didn't really want to do it.
Yeah.
She states
Yeah.
anything in
No,
public.
She did good, she was.
We
on
rarely
the
have
whole
any.
time.
Was she?
We did hire a police
Really?
officer last
Yeah.
night to replace
That's
Mike
something to think
Fuller.
about.
She was just
Yeah.
off.
And he lives here in Waverly, so.
That's
That's
fine.
good.
And he's gonna stay living in
Oh,
Waverly,
no.
so, but,
Okay.
yeah.
I could see
I
full
understand
time.
not liking all
A
eyes
lot
on.
of professionals sometimes like to live outside of their cities.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know him, and, you know, heard his name for the first time when we got the, minute, or the, agenda, so,
Okay.
but, yeah,
Good.
just gotta buy the paraphernalia for him to wear.
Her and Macy have nail
But he's already
appointments
been to school.
tonight.
You don't need.
Yeah, he's certified.
It's a
so
busy
he
week, there's
doesn't
something
need
tomorrow
to-
night, I
Where
don't
was
know
it before?
what's on the schedule
I did
tomorrow
not
night,
know.
and Thursday night central committee.
Steve Hartman, or Sean Hartman, who's
So
our,
we're getting another
Yeah.
shot.
council.
It looks like
deputy
snow coming
here.
Friday, so
Knows him.
Friday
So
into
I don't
Saturday
know if he
morning.
worked in
Is that when
the
it's
sheriff's
supposed to
office,
get?
or
Yeah, I
if
think
he
rain
worked in
Thursday,
another-
snow.
As a police officer.
I think rain still
before
Friday
in
morning,
one
and
of
then
the
switch to
cities, or
snow
here
some
maybe,
point
I don't
Friday.
know. So, yeah.
It remains to be seen, it could be a lot, or it could be a little, they don't know
Yeah,
the track
but
yet.
that'll be a
It's
nice addition.
Anywhere from Minnesota to Illinois.
Because Tim actually is gonna be off on medical for a while, so, I don't know, 6, 8 weeks, I
Yeah, I
guess
sure
he's
don't
gotta have
like
some kind
driving
of
in the
surgery,
smog.
so.
No.
Okay.
That'll leave us with just 2 officers again, so.
I was
So,
worried there was
yeah.
talk of ice last night.
Yeah, fortunately Denver's
And
pretty
it stayed
quiet.
warm enough for us, but
Yeah,
Not too much.
you never know, like bridges and
Not too
stuff
much
freeze
happening.
up. And
and this is a
Yeah,
quieter
especially
period
yesterday
in
morning
summer.
when it was about
Yeah,
50 degrees.
right, right.
Well, and so one of my
kids
employees
aren't
lives in Ionia,
running around
and
at night like they do during the
he said
summer.
he didn't know if it was like heavy
Getting in the
frost or
ship.
if they actually had a little bit of
They're in
snow
school,
overnight, but he said they kind of had a
Yeah,
dusting
school
in the
keeps them pretty
morning
busy and,
when they got up, and so.
Good.
so, yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Can't see, don't know if it's slippery.
Yeah.
yep.
Did I get everything signed?
Yep, I'm working on your Title VI thing, see if we can, after I type everything in, if it works this time.
Okay. is Lindsay, so. Round.
She was out heading out to do an inspection when I was coming in this morning at 8:15.
Toad's in.
Okay, so she's back from that.
Yeah.
Still circling. Convinced it's gonna work this time either.
Dewey's going to be on the phone, so we'll just wait for Dewey.
Okay.
I'm about to start minor plats with Lindsay.
Okay.
So Lindsay, we got two items for you. The first is a Rio minor plat for 1879 220th Street. Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve, to adopt minor plat.
Second.
Moved and seconded, discussion. Lindsay, you want to just talk to us a little bit about this?
We are splitting off the farmstead from the ag ground for estate planning.
Any concerns?
No concerns.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
Nothing.
Typical, just estate planning, parceling off the homestead.
Correct.
So, all in favor, this will be resolution 2611. All in favor of resolution 2611, say aye.
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 And the chair votes aye. Resolution 2611 has passed. Next item, review minor plat for J&L Kerr Land Incorporated. Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve 2612 for Kerr.
Second.
Second. First, we have first and second. So do we have any discussion? Lindsay, you want to just talk about this one?
This is also for estate planning. We're splitting the ag ground into two very large parcels. The north parcel originally had 3 different pieces, same with the south, and now it's just 2
Okay.
parcels instead of, it would have been 6.
Any concerns?
No concerns.
Okay. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of resolution 2612, say aye.
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 Chair votes aye. We have approved resolution 2612, J and Kerr Land Incorporated. Any other items?
That's all I have.
Bob, did you inform Lindsay that we have her planning and zoning position filled and?
I was going to tell her that. Yes, we did approve Brian Davidson, so I'll contact him, and I think you probably already have his email address.
Yes, it should be on his application or his contact.
I'll get it.
Oh, it was on that email
He
chain.
emailed that to me, so.
Oh.
Yeah, it's on that email
Yep,
chain,
that's
so
right.
I can get that.
That's right.
Perfect.
So I'll contact him, and then you could schedule a visit with him.
Okay.
Actually, his email address is in there. It's on here. I'm sorry, I didn't see it. That's right.
Oh, yeah, okay.
All right.
Apologize. Great.
That's all I got.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Thank you very much. And then we'll wait for 10 o'clock. We have our auditor give us an update at 10.
I'll let you go, Dewey. I'll call you back one more time.
Okay,
Thank you. Conversation.
Sure.
You sound real upset. Yeah, heard that coughing. You were sick last week too. Oh, yeah. Did you see me on Friday?
Yeah, it was Friday, but
Or,
you
yeah,
got
last
sick.
Friday, yeah. I don't know what day you said, but you said around New Year's Eve-ish. Friday. Sounds worse now.
you push that button?
Yeah, that one doesn't work either.
Okay.
This one just takes you to that error like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
did this
But
morning.
if you do right click and then do print, it doesn't.
That's what got me this box.
Okay.
When I did the right click. That got me that box eventually. This one just gives a new tab that says it can be found. Guess we'll keep the version that.
Yeah, and you tell them.
Yeah, this one, we're not the only ones using this.
Yeah.
So, and I have to submit these documents to them, and when I do that, I'll let them know.
Okay.
We tried again.
Sent you Brian Hopple's information.
I got that, so that's his work address that's outside the county, right?
He lives outside, but I didn't see that one having a requirement. We have an Ionia, that could be,
Yeah, I was just talking to Mary Dietz about that last week, because she has an Ionia address, and she's a long ways from Ionia. The Ionia address is really, the little post office must have a really large area.
because it looked like the farmers have to be here, the city owners have to be here. I didn't see that the realtors, because there's other counties that must not have it.
What are you looking for, emails or?
No. And when I looked at, for the comp, Brian actually lives in Cedar Rapids, he works here in Waverly. But when I looked at it, at the state level, it just said realtor.
Oh, okay.
What I would think is that, of course, we have 4 groups. Ag person has to be here, city person has to be here. People knowledgeable of property values probably don't have to be, and realtors, obviously, there's not gonna be a realtor in every county, especially 7 realtors.
Right.
So,
Especially I think some of the rural counties.
yeah.
Yep, makes sense.
Give it another minute.
Once you're ready, you're gonna go there, or you're gonna just present from there?
I figured I'd just present from here. That's
Okay.
okay.
Dewey on?
We'll get him. Hello again. Got you on speaker. Shelley's about ready to go over payroll.
All right, Dewey, we're here, we have Barb, Curtis, and Adam, and in the audience. Shelley, we have an agenda item for you to talk about the payroll issue from last week. Could you just give us a briefing on that?
Okay, that's one of the few things that I wanted to talk about. What happened was the incorrect ACH file that had been created back in early November was submitted.
I can barely hear you, Shelley.
An ACH file that was created back in early November for those members' payroll, can you hear me better, Dewey?
A little bit, yeah, it's fine now.
Was submitted to the bank, or uploaded to the bank on December 8th, 17th for the December 19th payroll. On December 18th, we discovered that it was the wrong one and we pulled it back. And then submitted the correct one, so on the 19th, overnight of the 18th, the correct ACH batch went out to all of the banks. In pulling back the incorrect one, it brought to light several issues. I've known for a year or two that some of the banks, when we upload the file, we upload it on Wednesday, we tell them payroll, our pay date is on Friday, but the banks still, how they operate, the funds go to the employees already the day before, because we submitted on a Wednesday. So, in having that issue happen, and I had thought about it before, but now I'd like to do it, if you're okay with it, we gotta let our employees know. I wanna wait until Thursdays to submit the file to the bank, so that everyone gets their pay on payday. Nobody's gonna be getting their pay a day early. And I think we need to give everybody a heads up before we do something like that, because some people have probably gotten used to getting their pay a day early. So that's one of the things I wanted to talk about and bring up and make sure everybody knows about it before we start doing it, that payday is gonna go back to payday again. But eventually, over time, the banks kind of evolve in how they handle the funds, and for us to manage that is just not sending the file on Wednesday, we'll send it on Thursday. It's sending a communication out to employees and letting them know that that's what we're doing. Everybody's good with that.
Yeah, and I talked to Shelley about it, so on this issue of, yeah, the banks, all of them are trying to expedite this as much as possible, and sometimes they're ignoring the effective date, and we see that at work too. So I do think you need to give, employees, at least a week or 2 weeks notice to make sure that they know that this will be happening, so.
You do have some banks that, even though you're releasing that file on Wednesday, that the funds aren't available until Friday?
Yeah, most banks wait until Friday.
Okay, so if you release on Thursday, is there a funds availability issue with any of the banks you're releasing to that they won't be available on Friday?
I don't believe so. For all of the years that we've been doing it, if we say the payroll is on Friday, that's when they put the money in their accounts.
Okay.
I don't understand banking well enough on their end to know why.
Yeah, you may want to just reach out to Fidelity and just know the cutoff times. There will be a cutoff time on Thursday.
Yep, we've asked that several times. As long as it's there by 5 o'clock on Thursday, it's in their banks on Friday. That I'm sure of.
And then sometimes if a holiday's on a Friday or per se, you may do a day earlier per se.
So that's the other thing I wanted to bring up. On June 19th, it's a federal holiday and the banks are closed, but it's not a county holiday. So in order for our employees to get their pay, I feel like we need to pay them on the 18th because the banks are going to be closed on the 19th. But typically, we've never moved a payroll date unless it's our holiday. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys are good with paying everybody on the 18th, even though we don't have a holiday on the 19th. Federal, the banks are
It's a
open.
bank holiday.
It's a bank holiday.
And we chose to work on that day, so I don't see it an issue. I think it'd benefit the employees, so it's not gonna be a harm.
And with the incorrect ACH file being sent out, we're not sure we 100% have everything resolved. We're still working on making sure that we've got all the funds pulled back from all of the accounts that should not have had. And anybody that ended up with an overdraft because of it, so far, what I'm aware of, have all been reversed and there aren't any, but, so if anybody has anything out there yet, they'll just have to let us know. We're still working on making sure everything got pulled back from everybody's accounts.
And what I've asked is in the short time period, or make sure you add a double check, so we don't do this as, it's just a mistake where they pulled the wrong file and to upload, didn't catch it, and then reversing it off is always a pain. So, and in this instance, some banks didn't have the money in their accounts when they reversed it on the 18th prior to it. So yeah, it's.
Yep. And by submitting the batch on Thursday, and payday on Friday.
The reversals on Thursday caused issues.
Correct. I believe we wouldn't even be in the boat we're in if we were already had been doing that. It would have.
So, Shelley, the question I have is there a electronic method of making certain that we can never upload the wrong file again. I mean, mistakes happen, and we just need to work through this one and get over it. But if we somehow allow it to happen again in the future, then it's not a mistake anymore. So, is there the ability? And Bob, you maybe know this because you do some of that work at your work. Isn't there? There has to be some way of setting an electronic check on those files so that the person is asked, "Are you sure you want to do this file?" or something like that. Can you speak to that at all?
Well, Bob and I talked about it already, and Bob had a good suggestion of just a second set of eyes. Make it our process and our procedure that one person isn't doing that process. There's a second set of eyes. Somebody else steps over, looks over the shoulder, looks at the report, looks at the bank, just to as a double check, a second set of eyes, get a second person involved in it.
That's fine, but in the electronic world we live today, I would think that there would be a method to put a electronic check on doing that type of business. I'd be surprised if there's not. Maybe we need to write an AI program to do that, but I don't want to be spending more employee time double checking the mundane. So especially if there's an electronic method of being able to do that.
Well, the bank portal is an upload, and you go out and you get the file, and you just double check your work at that time. The bank would almost have to have.
Well,
wouldn't they?
he's saying is on our side, we would have like an automation. You have a balance file and you have the ACH file. Do they match? One person did the balance file, the other person did this file. Yep, they did match, and it would go up. So that's what we would do at work. But I understand this. It may temporarily. I'd have two set of eyes on it, and maybe talk to some other auditors with payroll and see if there's any other methods that they've chosen to use. But we would have two people do it at work.
Well, we've gone many years without having this problem, so if merely putting the second set of eyes on it is going to give us that assurance, at least in the short term, I'm okay with that. I just don't want to see us get in a situation where we're going to have to end up hiring somebody else because we have a second set of eyes on things like this when there's automation that's got to be available. So I like the idea of having other auditors comment on it, or payroll clerks or whoever handles it in the various counties, and then see where it goes from there. But in the short term, it makes sense to have the second set of eyes.
My only concern is just that we're not getting into civil banking contract with the employee and their bank, that sometimes there's, that delay. Like I know I work with 3 different banks personally, and some of the funds availability issues, like from deposit to availability, are different from bank to bank to bank, and that delaying to Thursday isn't going to cause availability funds, that we're not going to have employees on the other end of this coming in and saying, hey, my funds weren't available on Friday, or,
And there have been times we submitted it on a Thursday, so it wouldn't be the first time we've ever submitted it on a Thursday.
Okay. So as long as we vet that out before we make the change, seeing employees get their money a little bit early doesn't bother me as much as an employee that doesn't get their money on payday. That's my concern. And as long as we're not entering a liability there, I'm fine with it.
And we can put that in the note to the employees. If there's any issues, feel free to talk to Shelley, and we can revisit.
Okay.
Great. Any HR or Adam, did you guys have any issues with that, or?
The only thing that I'll share is I know that from the investment policy side of things, with our number one item on that investment policy being the security of our assets in the county, no actual funds left Bremer County's bank account, and went out to folks through that process. And I can see that with the transition in the bank account. So the people that got paid early, that is, basically that file goes out to the banks when it's uploaded, and then it is a pre-file to open up those accounts in a fraud prevention tactic, as I understand it, so that those bank accounts for the employees are anticipating funds coming in on that Friday. Some banks see that number and they say, hey, we know this is a trusted deposit, and that bank puts money into those bank accounts. So that's what happened or has happened for the people that are getting paid early. So no county funds are leaving. So what ended up happening is the original file was uploaded. That happened. There were some people that would have gotten paid normally as early as they typically do, but when the file was identified as being the incorrect one and the poll was made, that's when that one was pushed out instantly, and we debited people's accounts that hadn't even received the funds yet. And those are the people that it was pulled back from are the people that don't typically get paid in advance. I'm one of those that does get paid a day early, and it didn't affect me at all because I hadn't received any funds yet. So anyway, the security of the funds with the county has not been an issue through this at this point. I spoke with Shelley and Barb yesterday on this matter. There is some reconciliation that we want to do to make the statement solid, but at this point in time, I don't think there's any security issues with our funds. If there's something that was sent or was pulled back, or that we will find it at our monthly reconciliation that is underway at the present time, of course, given the time of the month. So stay tuned for that, but we've been in conversation about the matter. Everybody's working well together. Nobody's pointing fingers. As I look at my own policy or procedures when we do the apportioning of funds out to the taxing authorities, the school districts, the cities, the townships, we use the same process as far as uploading an ACH file. Some of the things that you've been talking about is preventing this from happening again. I've got some ideas I'll share independently with Shelley of file segregation, not dumping them all in one file folder on your computer and then pulling from. So having a monthly workspace that you're pulling your information from can prevent that. Yep, so some of these things, are right away you can figure out, okay, this is probably a better practice. Again, not here to armchair quarterback somebody else's process, but we can work together to make things much, much better.
Yeah, standardized across departments on, ACH uploads is good.
Yeah, and the other thing is I know that, does Fidelity request you to send them a dollar figure for the ACH file? Okay.
By email.
Yeah, okay, they require that at First Bank too, because we don't do the ACHs with Fidelity, we do them with First Bank. So every month we have a minimum of 2 ACH files. You have significantly more, you have 2, maybe 3 every month. So anyway, that's my take from the financial side of the treasurer's office connected to this. As far as employees that were infected in my office, I think they were treated fairly, professionally through the process, through Shelley's office to get things rectified. I can't speak for other departments, but I can speak for ours.
Yep.
Thank you, Adam.
Thanks. And Barb, same thing, or?
Yeah, from the HR standpoint, and having worked in the auditor's office myself, there are other reports that you can cross-reference for a double check before that send button is hit.
Yep.
So it's not a mundane having to hire an additional person. It's something that's just cross-referencing a couple other reports to make sure that file balances with those other reports.
So to be clear, all those processes already were in place before this happened.
Yep. I understand that. Okay. Well, Shelley, thank you for the update on that, and so you'll be sending out a note to the employees that you'll be changing your ACH drop date from Wednesday to Thursday, and then if they have any issues after that, make sure they contact you. Okay. Anything else for the good of the order?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. We are adjourned.
Thank you, Corey, for